In the wild, mysterious depths of Brittany, France, sits an old abandoned shack. Surrounded by ancient oaks and home to all manner of forest dwellers, it is here that we meet to share our stories. So pull up a seat, swing that light, grab your favourite beverage as we share another tantalising tale in the Freakin Shack.
Go!
Just go. That's your intro. Go!
Go! The mic is live.
Fantastic. I'm not sure what you're on today, but I want some.
Welcome back to the shack.
The Freakin Shack.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it's Christmas!
We were going to say that together.
Oh, sorry. Well, I jumped the gun then, didn't I?
Yeah.
Should we do it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Christmas! Actually, probably more accurately, Boxing Day. But it's still Christmas. There are 12 days of Christmas and we're still in them.
We are.
Yeah. It's not actually Christmas right this moment because when we're recording this, we're recording a little bit early. But it's Christmas where you are. And if you are not with your family and you're spending Christmas with us, then we love you guys. And we hope you've had a lovely Christmas. Even if it is all by yourself, you're not by yourself, you're with us. You're in the Freakin Shack.
Are you saying that to yourself?
Yeah, because I'm going to be on my own this Christmas. Yes, I'm talking entirely to myself.
This Christmas.
That's the one. And I am. I'm going to be all on my own this Christmas because my family are leaving and I am looking after the dog. I know my place.
Home alone for Christmas.
Yeah, in the Freakin Shack. So it's fine. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I'm also probably talking to myself as I say this. But it's fine. We don't mind. We just, I'll have my Christmas, just have it at New Year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
You have lots of treats, though.
I do.
Bought lots of treats.
I'm being left with nice things. And the dog, she's good company. And the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not so good
He's
company.
not so good company, bless him.
He's very, very old.
Dear of him, he's like a bag of spanners.
Yeah, yes. How old is he? 22.
22? I thought he was 21. No. When did he turn 22?
I don't know, but he's old.
He's very, very old. Bless him.
He's as old as Dumbledore.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Except he's called Milligan.
Spike
Milligan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Bless him. And he may not be the most sociable of all kitties, but he has character.
He does.
A lot of personality going on in that little kitty. Bless him. And Marlowe doesn't care one way or the other, so.
No. And if you go on YouTube, you'll see some pictures of Marlowe, and you'll know what a fantastic time Steph is going to have with Marlowe, keeping her occupied.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to have plenty to do. It's going to be great. So we're feeling festive.
We are.
So I thought we'd talk about some of the festive things going on, right? And some of the stories behind stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
The myths and legends.
Yeah.
And sometimes true stories too.
Yeah. So can I start? Because I found a new one.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you just go with it because you've got all the notes this week.
I know. This is very unlike us. This is not like me to take over here. I found out a cool thing about mistletoe because I was wondering about why we have mistletoe. Mm-hmm. Right? There's got to be a story there about why you kiss under the mistletoe.
Well, before you just go into the real reasons about mistletoe,
yeah.
I will just add that one of our little Advent stories leading up to Christmas Day is called The Mistletoe Phantom, I think.
Oh, that sounds sinister.
Yeah.
Is
it's
it?
Not as sinister as you think.
Oh, okay. We like a nice story.
Yeah. It is a nice story. So if anyone wants to go and listen to that after listening to this, then there's 24 stories that we've been doing leading up to Christmas. So those will all be finished now.
Yeah, because we did the whole of Advent.
Yes.
It was a big thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people quite realise how much work went into that.
I didn't realise how much work went into that when I suggested the stupid idea.
But it was your idea.
It was my idea. I have nobody to blame except myself.
Oh, I love it. When you messaged me and you were like, what have I done?
And I was like,
well, You said you were going to do it.
Well, we sort of decided that you were going to read 12 stories and
Yeah.
I was going to read 12 stories.
And it would have been better if we were able to do that.
But then you were ill.
Really ill. And I might be a little bit better today, but I have had 3 days worth of antibiotics and steroids. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's the reason why I'm coughing a little bit less. My voice is still a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But I'm fine. I'm getting over it now. Power to medication.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say something else now and I've totally forgotten what it was.
It may come back to you.
It might come back to me. It might not. It might have gone forever. Chosen beverage. I'm imagining an alcoholic beverage. Because like I say, I'm on antibiotics. Can't drink a thing that's alcoholic. So I'm going to imagine myself sat here with a Southern Comfort lemonade with a splash of lime cordial. Because it tastes like liquid sherbet.
It does.
Anyone who hasn't had one definitely has to try it. But I can't get hold of any Southern Comfort here in France. Because apparently I'm not allowed it. There's not a single supermarket here that carries it. And that's depressing. But
we might find some on the boat.
I was going to say,
And bring back.
some of my lovely family over in the UK might just send me bring me some. But that would be fine. So hopefully by the time this goes live, I will have a Southern Comfort lemonade and lime. Wouldn't that be amazing? I'm just going to put that out there into the ether now.
My thoughts are, I don't drink lots of alcohol anyway. A Bailey's definitely goes down nice at Christmas.
It certainly does.
I just like the normal, ordinary, original.
Yeah, none of this...
None of this hairy, fairy...
Airy fairy.
Airy fairy, chocolate flavoured, caramel salted.
Yeah, I tried the chocolate one. I wasn't that keen. It's a separate drink to me. It's not a Bailey's.
It's not, no, exactly.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So-
We're not sponsored by Bailey's or Southern Comfort. I'm just saying that. If you would like to sponsor us, however, we're game.
Yeah, no, that would be my chosen beverage.
Bit of ice.
Bit of
swirly.
Yeah, a little bit of ice or bit of Bailey's in a coffee.
Oh,
If I have coffee on Christmas Day, always a Bailey's in it. Always.
I remember buying you a bottle of Bailey's for your birthday, and that was the first thing you did. Was put it straight in your coffee.
Yeah, but
Just,
it's
you know.
normally a Christmas treat for me. That is. But otherwise, I just like Coke and lime. You saying a bit of lime, Coke or Pepsi with a dash of lime.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
It is a lovely drink.
Oh,
Something-
I've never tried that.
Yeah, something my brother got me onto because he was in the Royal Navy but didn't drink at all, which is quite unusual. They used to get an allowance, a rum allowance.
Yep.
And he used to barter it off for the highest bidder.
See, smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that has its merits.
Yeah. So he used to have Coke and lime, and I tried it, and it's wonderful.
I might have to give that a go.
Yeah, I've got some downstairs, so we'll have some after we've recorded. Now.
I love it. Yeah, we'll give that a whirl because I can have.
Yeah.
Yep, like it. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about why we have mistletoe.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yeah.
We'll swing that light. The origins of mistletoe, and I'm just going to grab my notes for the goddess's name. So it was the goddess Fig. I'd never heard of the goddess Fig before, spelled
No.
Figg. She lost her son, and he's got a funny name as well, because she lost her son, and that's the god Baldur.
Oh.
I think that's how you say it. I did
Okay.
have to look it up, but I think that's how you say it. It's from Norse culture.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
And she lost her son to an arrow made of mistletoe.
Mm.
I'm not quite sure what that arrow would look like. Possibly a bit wibbly.
Yeah.
But apparently she lost her son to an arrow of mistletoe. I also have no idea who fired the arrow. Doesn't say, can't find it anywhere. But
If anybody knows, let us know.
absolutely, yep, I'm always up for learning. Anyway, because this happened, after his death, she vowed that the mistletoe would kiss anyone who passed beneath it, as long as it was never used again as a weapon. So technically it would be the mistletoe that's supposed to kiss you, not another person.
Okay.
It's the mistletoe's kiss, providing you're not going to use it as a weapon. It's going to be
see.
kind to you if you don't use it as a weapon.
All right. So that's where it sort of stems
So I think
from
that's-
eventually.
Yeah.
That it became something that you kiss under.
Yeah. which I quite like.
I think it's lovely.
Yeah, I want to have some mistletoe this year, but all of the stuff that's growing anywhere near me is way too high, and I'm short. Vertically challenged, if you will.
Well, most people would be vertically challenged because most of the mistletoe here is about 30 or 40 feet up trees.
Yeah. There might be some low-hanging ones somewhere, and I might just get sneaky and be able to reach.
Yeah.
But I'm not risking my life.
No.
Let's just say that.
No,
we're not doing that. Okay, so while we're on the theme of Christmas things that we have in our house that we might want to know more about why we have them.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas trees are an interesting one.
They are.
Now, I found a story ages and ages ago. I found a story about a mythological creature or goddess or something, but it was really sort of like out there in that direction.
Okay.
And it was a whole big thing about how the Christmas tree was actually... I seem to remember something about the being using a branch or a tree, or did she plant the tree over the top of a lover or something that she'd murdered and buried? I don't know. There was a whole thing about the Christmas tree, and I cannot find the story anywhere. So if anybody knows or has heard about the sort of more tragic side of Christmas tree, then I definitely want to find that story again. But what I have found with regards to the Christmas tree historically, and it dates back quite a ways, and from what I can gather, going right back to around 1419 in Germany. It was a baker's guild, and they displayed what they called the paradise tree. They decorated it with apples, wafers, tinsel and gingerbread. And this was considered to be one of the first open displays of what has now come to be known as the Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm.
So that was back in 1419. And then since then, there was a whole thing about Queen Victoria.
Oh, yes.
And she had a family photo taken with a Christmas tree. And that was when it came over sort of more into the UK and things like that.
Because wasn't her husband German?
Yes.
Or had German descendants or something? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was German, wasn't he? And they had a family photo taken with a Christmas tree, and that was it then. Obviously, in those days, they were the trendsetters. Everybody wanted to follow in line. So, yeah, basically, they had a family photo with a Christmas tree in it, and everybody wanted one.
Yep.
So, winner. The interesting part of that is that if you actually go and look at what it is now become known as, it is now supposed to celebrate the birth and resurrection of Jesus Christ. I'm not sure how it does that.
No.
Not a clue. There are also connections way back to like Egypt and places like that.
There are. Well, funnily enough, I just got that on here because I was trying to look to see if I could see anything about your story. But it does actually say... The Christmas tree has a rich history that intertwines ancient traditions, Christian symbolism, and cultural evolution.
Yeah.
The use of evergreen trees dates back to ancient civilizations, including the Egyptians, Romans, and Druids.
Yeah.
Who used them to symbolise life and ward off evil spirits during the winter solstice.
Yes, it was supposed to be evil spirits, ghosts, and illness as well. And there was a story about how the sun got sick, and this is why it didn't come up so much in certain parts of the world. So they would bring in the evergreen things that reminded them that spring was going to come and prosperity and yada yada.
Well,
yeah, amazing.
Talking of the solstice, we've got again another little story. It all links back to all of these traditions and things, and it is the story of the Holly King.
Ooh.
and his fight, so-called fight, with the Oak King.
Oh,
because the Holly King looks after the forests and the animals during the darker part of the year as the nights get longer and longer, and then as it changes over on the 21st, and I have a feeling it will already be available because the 21st, I've actually got that story going on.
Oh, cool.
So if people look for it on, if you haven't listened to it already, it'll be going live on the 21st. But it is all about the solstice and the so-called fight between the two. There isn't really a fight.
It's kind of a handover of
it is a
responsibility.
handover, and it's almost like a gesture. It's to make it look like.
I think to be fair, that's just as well, because if you've ever had to come to sort of blows with a holly bush, it's not something I'd recommend.
No. So, or an oak tree.
Yeah. No, I think I'd like the Whomping Willow.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to end well, let's face it.
Exactly. So, so we've got that story coming out, talking about the solstice and the holly and the oak.
I love it. Cool. Shall I keep going then?
Yeah, you keep going.
Cool, because I got a funny thing. So I got looking up a number of different things, and this is just a little token because I found it and it was funny. Is the origins of the candy cane.
Oh, right.
Right. And this goes back to the 17th century in Europe. And I just thought, I wasn't aware that they'd been around that long. You know, that it was like a cane of sweet, stuff.
Yeah.
A sugar cane, but it's not a sugar cane, it's a candy cane. It's literally the way we remember not chewing on sugar cane. Do you know what I mean? It's not that. Anyway, the exact details are a bit hazy so far in my research, let's just say that. But one popular legend suggests that the first candy canes were created by Germans. Okay, and the reason for it is because they wanted to keep the children quiet during the long nativity service.
How brilliant.
And I mean, if you're going to keep children quiet, I think dosing them with sugar is great at the time. Afterwards, well,
bit of a sugar rush.
Yeah, you might have to deal with the fallout at the end.
Yeah.
But
take them for a long walk in the snow.
Yeah, well, I think that was probably what happened anyway, wasn't it? So
yeah.
Yes. But there are there's a couple of traditions.
A couple?
A couple. I'm not sure where that word came from. A couple of traditions that I thought is worth mentioning, especially down to the differences in countries, because obviously we're sort of UK, France flip-flopping, and there is a tradition of hanging stockings in the UK, and we don't have stockings here. At least they are starting to come in. You are starting to see them a little bit more now, but over here in France they leave shoes.
Yes.
And in Germany, boots.
Yeah. I think it's done. There's quite a lot of Scandinavian countries that do that. There's other countries that also have gifts on the 5th of December instead of. I don't know if they have those and then gifts on the 25th. I'm not sure.
But again, Christmas Eve here is a much bigger thing here in France than Christmas Day. Christmas Day is almost treated like Boxing Day.
Yeah,
it's just a kind of a decompression day. Christmas Eve is the big event here.
Yeah, with big meals, family meals that go on until the early hours of the morning.
Yeah, and
I think gifts are given at Christmas Eve.
Yeah, Christmas Eve. The thing of Santa coming and the thing is leaving the stockings or the shoes or the boots or whatever it is that they leave out. In the UK, it is toys and presents if you've been good, and it is usually coal if you've been bad. Here in France, it's sweets and candies if you've been good, and it is a bundle of sticks if you've been bad. And I think that's kind of thinking about how we used to heat our homes back a ways. A lot of people had coal fires in the UK, but wood burners have always been a thing here, so that would kind of make sense that that's the difference in that sort of evolution of that. But that was always quite interesting, an interesting difference, because when we first came over, I was surprised that stockings and that sort of shape that you saw in sort of Christmas decorations and things like that was not a thing here at all. And yet there were these huge wooden clogs being sold, and you're supposed to put the big wooden clog next to your fireplace, and that's what you leave for Santa to fill with sweets, which I think is a really cool thing. I might get Rich to make me a clog.
Yeah.
I think that would be kind of cool.
I think that'd be really nice. You can get them made at one of our local.
And the copy lathe does it.
Yeah, and you can go up and actually watch them being made.
Yeah, that's very cool. I love that.
I might even have a bit of film a bit of
one being
video
made.
of one being made, or the machine being used at least. So I'll see if I can find that and perhaps pop it on social media as one of our little shorts or something on YouTube.
I think that's cool. You might want to mute it though. That machine's pretty loud.
It is, yeah.
We'll just turn it down a little bit.
Yeah, I'll just
make it appropriate for human ears. Because wow. Did you have anything you were going to say? Because I was otherwise going to go on to baubles and family.
Oh no, you carry on. I've got something that I can include, but I don't need to include it until the end.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, in which case, I'm now going down my list to see what I've actually written down here. Yeah, okay, so baubles. We hang glittery baubles, shiny ones.
We do.
Apparently, this was a kind of a more decorative approach to hanging apples, pine cones, nuts, berries, things like that.
So that originally it would have been very
fruity.
Very fruity, very natural things that were used, pine cones and things like that you picked up that you could put on the tree.
Yeah.
And I do remember as a child myself, we had lots of homemade decorations.
Most of my decorations are homemade.
Yeah.
Because I love it.
You love making stuff.
I love making stuff and together. And I will say that my string that I use is homemade as well, so that it all rots down and goes in my composting. So, but I do bind it all together, and then I put all the pine cones in and all sorts of things like that. And yes, I include a couple of bits that are not, because I've always had the odd bit, the plastic baubles and things that are always those things that I've had since I had my first Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And you do that whole thing of buying all this stuff, and I've still got them. And all I do is every now and again, because when the colour rubs off, and it sort of goes either black or it goes kind of funny colour, and I just respray them.
Yeah.
Because you just paint them. It's fine. They'll go again. They'll go again for another year. I'm not one of these people to buy.
I've got Christmas decorations. There's not many left now, but I have a few that had with my mum and dad. But most of them now are from when you lot were little.
Oh yeah,
when you were all small and you made stuff at school.
There's a curtain ring that you still have on your tree, because I saw it today.
Yeah.
And I cross-stitched, I think.
Yeah, I think you did, yeah.
A bucket, spade and a towel. I used quotation, it was a square. A little rectangle that was my towel. And you've still got it. And I cannot remember a couple of years ago when we had Christmas at my place. And my niece, it was one of those things of, we were absolutely skint and everything had to be handmade, secondhand or fully recycled.
Yeah.
And so my niece came with pine cones and things, and she dipped them and painted them with a little bit of sparkle just to make them a little bit sparkly. And I've still got them and I hang them up every year. And one of the traditions that I've got with my Christmas tree decorations now is that, because I like pyrographing, my neighbour calls it pyromancy. Steph's doing her pyromancy. But it's the burning of wood. It's pyrography. Anyway.
I do that every time I light the log burner.
Technically.
I burn wood.
You burn wood, yeah. Mine's a bit more decorative,
yeah,
I will say.
Yeah.
A little less warming.
Yeah. And mine's just ash.
Yeah. But what I've come to do is I get these little rounds that are about 1.5 inches, 2 inches across. And every person that we have lost in the family gets a round. Right, so I've got Nana, I've got Papa, I've got Grandad James
Missons,
Grandad Missons, Nanny, but that includes the animals.
Yeah.
So I've also got Hayes and Misty, and I've got to do one for Jed this year. Bless him.
And Molly.
She's on the tree too.
Yeah.
So we've got all of them. And that is my tradition now. So that each year we hang everybody up on the tree and they're all with us, see? And I quite like that.
Yeah.
That might be totally weird to a lot of people, but I think that, because originally I was going to do everybody in the family all gets a thing, and I was just like, no, I could be doing them forever. Do you know what I mean? So it's now become, once somebody has passed, then I make their little round and they go on the Christmas tree every year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So that's my contribution.
Is that it? Have you come to the bottom of your list?
I think, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I will say that the baubles, nuts, fruit and all that jazz, that was supposed to be a looking forward to the, like, for prosperity and the looking forward to the fact that spring would return.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, that again is a promise on the story of the Oak King and the Holly King, because that's why the Oak King takes over the winter solstice, because he then brings in the longer days and the promise of spring.
Yeah. See, we like that whole turning round from not such a good thing to a better thing.
Yeah.
Kind of like the mistletoe.
Yeah.
You know, taking that mistletoe arrow and going,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, let's just make this a positive.
Yeah. But I say we've got a few of our little stories that sort of link into some of these things that we've talked about today, because we've got the mistletoe phantom story, we've got the Holly King for coming up, and obviously holly and ivy is a well-known sort of tradition at Christmas.
I remember
anyway.
singing that in school.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I mean, that comes up in Christianity, doesn't it? With the candles and the holly and the ivy dancing in a ring or something.
Yeah. But we've also, the decorating of the Christmas tree, of course, was one of our very first stories we had in our 24
Oh, that's right.
days. And
spiders.
that was the Christmas spider.
Which was, I mean, I think that was an original tale in terms of where tinsel came from.
Yeah.
I think that's got to be it.
Yeah.
And I've got silver string going on my Christmas tree this year. It's going to happen. I love it. I have not done, as we record this, I have not done my Christmas tree yet because I've been sick as a dog and I've had absolutely no energy to go up in the loft and get everything.
My dog's not sick.
I don't know where that phrase came from.
No.
I said this on a TikTok months ago because I was like, I'm sick as a dog. A dog's particularly sick. And nobody came back to me to tell me where that phrase came from.
Oh, we're going to have to ask.
Yeah, there you go. I'm asking.
We're throwing it out there.
Why do we say sick as a dog?
Yeah.
What's that about?
What is that all about? Well, the thing that I can contribute to this is the actual day that this comes out will, excuse me, but it's all right. My phone has just had a complete, it's just thrown.
Freak off.
Yeah. We've got some new words that we have been using while we do our audio, which is okay at the minute. But yeah, words like freak off and get shacked. and I think my phone has just done, it's got shacked. Right, because I've just lost what I wanted. Oh, I found it again.
Excellent.
We're all right. But what it is some information around Boxing Day.
Oh, like it. Do you know why it's called Boxing Day?
Yes.
Excellent. I love that. Because that was going to be my first question.
Yeah. And it's Boxing Day is celebrated on December the 26th. And it has its origins in the United Kingdom.
Oh.
And there aren't very many other places that actually celebrate Boxing Day. It is observed in some of the Commonwealth countries. It doesn't say which ones, but if you are in a Commonwealth country and you celebrate Boxing Day, please tell us what you do on Boxing Day. The name Boxing Day comes from the tradition during Queen Victoria's reign. Now we're going back to her again.
Yep.
With the tree.
In front of her Christmas tree.
When the wealthy would box up gifts to give to the poor.
Ah.
It was also a day off for servants who would receive a special Christmas box from their employers and then go home to give Christmas boxes to their families.
Oh, that's actually really sweet. I did not know that.
Yeah.
How did I not know that?
I don't know.
How bizarre. Hang on a minute. My butt cushion's moved. Okay, that's better.
It does say here, additionally, churches played a role in the creation of Boxing Day because throughout the year they would collect money from churchgoers and distribute it to the poor on the day after Christmas.
What if the churchgoers were poor? Does that count?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could they not collect from, like, you know...
The rich.
And then go, tell you what, we're actually going to do something nice for the...
Oh, no, you can't possibly do that. You get
Can't do that.
accused of being a communist or something. How dare you all help each other? I'm getting off this subject.
Capitalist.
I'm getting straight off this subject now.
Yeah, abort!
Oh dear. But yes, they had a tradition of giving, and charity is a key aspect of Boxing Day history. So there you go.
Well,
Robin Hood was good at that.
Yes.
He's my little hero.
There you go.
Another myth or legend that we need to talk about at some time.
Yeah.
Today, Boxing Day is also known for shopping, sales, sporting events, and spending time with family and friends.
Well, can I do that last bit and forget all the rest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm afraid it really is not our tradition to go shopping.
No.
On Boxing Day.
It's not, to be honest, I mean, we don't really go shopping. I think what tends to happen more than, and I don't know if I'm the only one who will sort of go as far to talk about it, but I think in terms of financially going out on a day to spend a ton of money can't happen for me because I don't have enough all at once. So all of my Christmas shopping and things like that has to be done across the entire year because I will have enough for one gift per month.
Yeah.
And I might just about get round. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, yes, I will probably go out in the sales and I'll get something. And then I'll hope that, you know, I have enough money next month. But I think there's a big focus at the moment on Christmas being this time of year when you just splash the cash. And where there's almost an expectation that you are to buy big lavish gifts for people. And if you don't buy these gifts, then people obviously aren't important to you. And that's horrible.
Yeah.
I would much rather, you know, like we did when we gave each other gifts that year where it all had to be homemade, recycled or second hand.
Yeah.
That was so much fun to shop for.
Because a lot of us went to like charity shops and things and found things for each other.
Yeah, and made things.
Yeah.
Where you're appreciating the skill of actually being able to make something.
Because I think I was making soaps and candles and things at that time.
Yeah, you were doing soaps and candles. I was knitting and crocheting like an absolute demon, which was a lot of fun. And now, obviously, with my other half and doing all the wood turning and carving and things like that, we've just got that. The world is our oyster.
It is.
If it can be made, we can have a crack at it.
But Boxing Day always for us, from when I was little, was always a family day.
Yeah.
It was a very similar day to Christmas, but obviously we didn't have presents. But
it's always the day that you've got to look through everything you've got and properly pull it apart.
Yeah, you've got a chance to really start to play with your stuff and look at your stuff properly. And I think that's what I loved about it. My nan, if there was a war film on in the evening, my nan would never watch a war film. She wouldn't watch it because her brother was killed in the First World War. He was only 19. But she would come out with us and we would sit round the kitchen table, me and my brother and my sister, and we would play bingo. And she would play bingo with us.
I love it.
And we used to love it. We used to have such a lovely time while all the others were like watching the film or falling asleep.
Yeah, I was going to say, falling asleep in front of the movie is probably more likely than actually watching it.
Yeah. But yeah, we used to play games, mainly bingo with her. And we used to have great laugh. And then we would spend time at home all together. My mum would put on a big spread for lunchtime and we'd have like cold meat from the day before and pickles and
cheese and Branston.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're not sponsored by Branston either.
It can sponsor us if you like.
Yeah.
But we would have like this cold meat and pickles, but always either a mashed potato or then croquet potatoes. When croquet potatoes came out, we had them. We thought we were really posh.
Wow.
And I still, to this day, only ever do cold meat and pickles and croquet potatoes or some sort of special potato.
Yeah.
And then pickles and peas. Always peas.
The peas is weird to me. I won't lie. That's weird. Because what do you eat it with?
The mashed potato.
Oh, okay. So if you do mashed
And a
potato,
bit of pickle. And a bit of pickle. Bit of Branston.
Fair.
Yeah.
But I would want to fry that though in like
You
a
could
potato
do.
cake.
Oh gosh, yeah, you could do.
You know?
Well, it's a bit like the croquet potatoes.
Yeah, I
they
suppose
are.
it would be, yeah.
Air fryers now. Stick it in the air fryer.
I haven't got one of those.
Oh.
I don't need one. I'm good. It's fine. I'll live. The thing I remember though is Christmas Day, and for me, Christmas Day, it's always like my needs are simple, right? I've got to have a good dinner, right? I've got to have a good laugh, usually with family, friends, family or chosen family, and silly games.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't actually matter about the presents, gifts, things like that. That's never really been a thing in terms of, it's never been an important factor. It's always been family, food, and silly games.
And fun.
And fun.
Family, food and fun.
There you go.
We're on all the main letters today.
Yeah, freaking hell. Festive freaking festivities.
Well thought out.
Thanks. I'm here all week.
But looking at this, I mean, we've talked about what happens in the United Kingdom on Boxing Day. Canada, apparently much like the UK, Boxing Day in Canada is synonymous with shopping deals. Sales is also a public holiday, and many people spend the day with family and friends. There we go. In Australia, Boxing Day is famous for the Boxing Day Test match in cricket. Of course, it's summer over there, isn't it? And it's held at Melbourne Cricket Ground. It is a major event in the sporting calendar. Australians also enjoy shopping, sales and spending time outdoors, often on the beach.
Yeah, and there's a surfing thing with Santa's surfing.
Yeah.
The amount of people that I have seen dressed as Santa on surfboards, and it is brilliant.
Yeah.
It looks like an absolute scream. So, yeah. And they must be sweating buckets because they've got the hat, the glove, the lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's very warm. Anyway, New Zealand, similar to Australia, Boxing Day in New Zealand features cricket matches, shopping sales. It is also time for outdoor activities and enjoying the summer weather. South Africa, it is known as the Day of Goodwill.
Oh, we like it.
Boxing Day in South Africa focuses on giving back to the community and spending time with family. It's also a public holiday with many people enjoying outdoor activities.
Oh, and where's that, sorry?
That's in South Africa.
That's much more my style.
Yeah. And
I
in
like that.
Ireland, Boxing Day is also known as St. Stephen's Day.
Uh-huh.
Traditional activities include the Wren Boys processions, where people dress up in old clothes and parade through towns, often raising money for charity.
Love it.
There you go.
Absolutely brilliant.
If you are anywhere and you do celebrate Boxing Day and we haven't mentioned you, please let us know and we'll add it to the list for next year.
Yeah, and even if you're not from a different country or a different tradition, what are your traditions for Christmas and Boxing Day? Because we've all got our thing.
Yeah, we have.
You know, I think everyone's got their thing, their food, their,
Just sometimes the way the day goes or is planned.
Agenda.
It's like when I was a kid, we used to have our stockings. So Santa always brought stockings in the morning. We were allowed to open them.
That's on Christmas Day, not Boxing Day.
That's on Christmas Day,
Christmas Day,
yeah. So we would have that. But then, before we were allowed downstairs to see what Father Christmas might have bought us, we had to have our breakfast and get dressed.
Yep.
And we weren't allowed in until we'd done that. So we were very quick at having breakfast and getting dressed on Christmas morning. Because once we were in our presents, of course, it's so difficult to get the kids away from the presents to then get them, breakfasted and dressed. So we always had to have that done first. And I seem to remember always having done that with you lot.
Yeah, we always had to do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a thing.
But
then
us,
it was a regular thing of like, especially when we were going to school and things like that. I mean, there was a lot of us. So time management was a thing.
It really was, yeah.
And it was always that thing that all the breakfast stuff was all put out and you had to be up, washed, dressed, and downstairs to have breakfast. And it was one of those things that if you weren't downstairs to eat your breakfast in time, everything had been put away then, and you had to sort yourself out.
Yeah.
Because breakfast bars closed.
For those that have not listened to like podcasts before this, I think we have talked about it, but we were a combined family, so 2 families coming together, and I had 2 children that came into the mix, and my partner Steve, who's now my husband, obviously, he had 2 children who were in the mix. So that was 4 children, and then we went and had another one.
Yeah.
So that joined all the family together because she became the half sister to all the brothers and sisters. So we had 5 children most of the time.
Yeah.
One of them in a wheelchair, and who had to have physio every morning and every evening, even on Christmas Day.
Yep.
So yeah, it was
Organisation was a thing.
a busy time.
But I will also say that we were also very a military family, so organisation wasn't exactly foreign, was it?
No, it wasn't. No, and we never had like all the presents that were under the tree. You lot used to get all your presents from Father Christmas because he would leave them, all on the chairs, in your own special place around the front room.
Yeah.
And then you would open those in the morning, but all the big gift giving under the tree.
Yeah.
That would all wait until the afternoon.
That would all wait until much later when the grandparents had arrived and everybody else had
and we'd
descended.
We'd have dinner.
Yeah.
Get dinner out of the way, and then we would start opening presents. So it actually made Christmas Day last all day.
It lasted all day, yeah.
And that's what I loved about it. I still do it now.
Yeah.
I still will not. I'm so...
Well, I did have a little bit of a giggle to myself when I was talking to the... to my other half about it, and talking about how you had your stocking at the end of your bed. And one year, Dad had said that, we didn't have a stocking this year. He said because we accidentally bought too much, and instead you've got a festive box. And it was just a cardboard box. But we didn't care because it actually had more in it, so it was fine.
Well, no, because that wasn't from Santa.
I can't remember what.
No, the festive box was not from Santa. You did have Santa's presents.
Yeah.
And
it was the one we had
at
our room.
Yes.
So
But what happened was we would have snacks that I would put out on the side. And they were for everybody. But because we had 5 children, including 3 teenage boys at one time, the snacks would go out and we would never see them again.
Yeah.
So what actually happened, our decision was that we would give you all a box full of your own snacks. You could have them at any time of the day. There was no rules around that at all. It was your box to put up in your room for you to go and pick from at any time of the day. But you left all the snacks that were on the side for anybody else that was there. You left them alone.
That makes a lot more sense now.
So that's what it was really for.
I see. That was... Yeah, okay. I'm there.
So you had
made a lot of sense.
Your own personal snack boxes.
Yeah, because brothers, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, you noticed I said the boys.
Yeah, because the thing is, I always had chocolate and crisps and things all left over that I would literally snack on all through January.
Yeah.
And they had nothing. I swear they'd eaten everything. I want to know from our listeners, though, are you a stasher or are you a nosher? Do you nosh the whole lot all at once, or are you a stasher and you keep and you eat a little bit by little bit? Because that was totally me as a child.
Yeah.
And I did have a little bit of gloat in me when I went in and found one of my selection boxes that still had stuff in.
Yeah.
But I swear a brother or two might have snuck in and stolen one.
That wouldn't surprise me.
From time to time.
Yeah. But hey-ho.
Such is life.
That's how we used to organise our Christmases, and pretty much how I do it even now.
Yeah.
Dad and I still don't open presents like first thing in the morning. We will maybe have 1 or 2 during the day and then eke it out until, be like, I've got another one. It'd be like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Might have forgotten this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus we never look. We never look at presents. It's like I've bought Dad some bits and I've told him where they are. so that he won't accidentally find them. They're wrapped.
Right.
But he will not
Go looking.
He will not go looking. And neither will I. Because I just love the surprise on Christmas.
I have to admit, I have a Christmas stash, which I build up over time, through usually from like August onwards. And I'll start buying little bits, and it'll be like a bottle of wine here and there. It'll be a box of biscuits or a box of crackers, or especially if the date is going to keep until Christmas.
Crackers.
Crackers.
They don't have crackers in France.
Don't have crackers in France. No, they don't. You have to get them in the English shop, and you pay a fortune for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't do Christmas crackers. Anyway.
And they're very difficult to even bring over.
Yeah, they are, because they're technically explosives.
They're technically
I mean, I don't know who's making your crackers. But I think I'll make my own. I did that one year. I made my own. And I didn't have the little things you put inside to go snap. So what we had to do is we had to pull both sides and both go bang!
Yeah. Perfect.
It was fine. You just had to shout bang. It was brilliant.
Absolutely perfect.
We are nothing if not up to a challenge.
Yeah.
But no, it's okay. I was going to say something and I totally lost it.
Oh, that's fine. I do that all the time. Well, I've got to the end of mine, but I have got a Christmas story.
Excellent. Swing that light.
Yeah, you're ahead of yourself.
I'll wait for you to get your notes. Are you ready?
I have my notes.
Okay. Swing that light.
It's called The Haunting of Evergreen Manor. It was a cold, snowy Christmas. I'll start that again. Drat.
We'll cut that out.
We probably won't, because I'm fed up with cutting things out.
Sick to death of editing now.
Yeah, I'll start again, and the viewers can hear how rubbish we are. The Haunting of Evergreen Manor. It was a cold, snowy Christmas Eve when the Johnson family moved into Evergreen Manor, a very grand but dilapidated mansion on the outskirts of town. The house had been abandoned for years, and the townsfolk whispered that it was haunted. But the Johnsons, eager for a fresh start, dismissed the rumours as mere superstition. As they settled in, strange things began to happen. The Christmas tree lights flickered on and off, even when unplugged. Footsteps echoed through the empty halls at night, and the faint sound of children's laughter could be heard, though the Johnsons' children were all fast asleep. On Christmas Eve, the family gathered around the fireplace to share ghost stories. Mr. Johnson, trying to lighten the mood, told the tale of the previous owners, the Evergreens, who mysteriously vanished one Christmas Eve many years ago. As he finished the story, the room grew very cold, and the fire dimmed. Suddenly, the youngest Johnson, little Emily, pointed to the window. "Mummy, look! It's snowing inside!" she exclaimed. The family turned to see snowflakes drifting through the air despite the windows being closed. The snowflakes slowly formed the shape of a young girl, who looked at them with sad, hollow eyes. "I am Clara Evergreen," the apparition whispered. "My family and I are trapped here, cursed to relive our final Christmas Eve forever. Please help us. Help us to find peace." Terrified but determined, the Johnsons agreed to help. They followed Clara's ghostly figure to the attic, where they found an old dusty chest. Inside were letters and photographs revealing the tragic fate of the Evergreen family. They had been poisoned by a jealous relative, who then hid their bodies in the walls of the house. With this revelation, the Johnsons called the authorities, who confirmed the gruesome discoveries. The spirits of the Evergreen family were finally laid to rest, and the hauntings ceased. From that day on, Evergreen Manor was no longer a place of fear, but a symbol of redemption and peace. And every Christmas Eve, the Johnsons would light a candle in memory of the Evergreen family, grateful for the chance to help them find eternal rest.
Ooh.
And that's the end of
Wow.
my Christmas ghost story.
I like it. I have to admit, having bodies buried in the walls is terrifying.
Yes.
And I have to think the authorities would have to like half demolish the house to actually.
Probably.
But do
but
they
then
rebuild it afterwards?
But then they did say it was dilapidated anyway,
Oh, it was
so
dilapidated
perhaps,
anyway. Yeah, so perhaps it was.
perhaps even through renovations, you were going to find a few bodies.
Yeah,
Not nice.
not nice.
No. But there
I
you
mean,
go.
nice of her to come and give them the heads up,
Yeah.
because that's not something you'd want to find, is it?
No. But with that, that's the end of our story,
Wow.
and probably coming to the end of our podcast.
I think, yeah, that's the end of our episode.
I think we need to do one thing.
What's that?
Sing.
Wait, what?
I've just thrown this at her now.
We're going to do what now? No one wants to hear this voice sing right now.
I just thought it'd be a laugh. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Okay, let's give it a whirl.
Right.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your King. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Oh, I can't go up that high because my voice breaks and it just goes to shit.
Now it's explicit. Now you've said it.
Now
You've
I've
said the
said
word instead of get shacked.
Yeah, it just goes to shack.
Happy Christmas, everybody. Hope you've had a wonderful time.
A very merry everything and a happy always.
Bye.
Bye.
Find us on all our social medias. Email fshack03@gmail.com. TikTok @the.freakin.shack. Instagram @the_freaking_shack. And Facebook is the-freakin-shack. All those freakings are without a G. And our little web page is at fshack03.podbean.com. We look forward to hearing from you.